Hey guys, welcome back to Drop Dice. I'm Chris. Now, before I change this, I just want to warn you, I'm about to flip the script. Now, if you've been with my channel a long time, you know my logos, you know my overlays, and you're thinking, what is going on here? He's got some crazy new stuff. That's what this video is all about. So the new logo correlates with the new website that's listed there, pointinspiration.com. The lovely folks over there have actually invited me to become a writing contributor to the publication group, A Point of Inspiration, which you can find at pointinspiration.com or on Facebook, A Point of Inspiration. The folks over there, you've actually met one of them specifically through my channel, DM Nighthag, who hasn't been broadcasting a lot of games, but she's been running crazy amounts of games, especially D&D 5th edition. And then Marquise Hurtis, who's Stereotypical Strider, the Bold and Beautiful, which you guys have seen on my channel as well. And if you've followed my links whenever I played his games, you've seen me on his channel as well. So it's super cool to have three like-minded individuals. And let me start with explaining why I think we mesh really well and why you would like these people to watch or to check out their content, because ultimately they're working with me, I'm working with them, and I want to share some of my viewers that like some of the things that I like. So my big thing on the channel is not necessarily D&D, it's about playing games that are intrinsically drawn towards the story, the fiction, making things happen that matter, and feeling that, you know, your characters' lives are things that actually do hold importance. Well, if you saw the Halloween game where I got to play a blood witch, or excuse me, a witch hunter from the Matt Mercer first write-up, which he has later renamed Blood Hunter, the witch hunter who was kind of this old man, and he had such an intrinsic role, and he had his fingers in his pot, all these pies around him, and Marquise took the story and he shaped it around the other characters, and we had all these characters that tied together and made this singular background. Well, he changed his story to match around us, but also kept the Headless Horseman aspect. And at the end, there was this really neat scene where this witch that I had been tracking for years until I have gotten so old was watching the scene, and she makes this comment that like resonates. And I love his style because it reminds me of shows like Stargate, Star Trek, things like that, like big long series, Xena, Hercules, where yes, this is the story of Hercules or the Stargate team, but what we're talking about right now is this single episode where they go and do this one thing, and this is what's important right now, and that's how Marquise runs his games, and I think it's a really cool way to do it. It's kind of like this episodic format, which I've never been able to do myself, so it's fun to participate in those kind of games. But it makes you feel like there's a greater story, even though it's just a one-shot, and it lets your brain kind of go crazy with it. So that's kind of the writing that he brings to the table. And then Chelsea actually has a background in design, computer design, not just like paper design like I do. And so I think that between the three of us, very creative individuals, we're definitely going to put out some material that you really like. As far as material that you guys may like from me, Providence, unfortunately, is still taking a backseat due to work. I'm going to try and fit in my Point of Inspiration work as we go, but Providence will probably just continue to be a half-done project, and unfortunately, that's kind of where it's at. I mean, there's enough there if you guys want to play with it and run with it. You definitely can. Starships, I'll eventually write up an entry on how to do those. With that bit of information, you guys should have pretty much more than enough to run with. But the same level of content and dedication that I put into that, that's going to be something you guys are going to see from Point of Inspiration. But the focus is going to be D&D 5th edition. And everything that we put out is going to be free. I've been very adamant about keeping my stuff for free. I've thought about doing something for Drop Dice in the future, but that may be something that I do later on. I wanted to let you know that if you do find the point that you would like to fund or support us in any way, there is going to be a Patreon that'll launch later on, and we'll have Kickstarters in the future. But basically, anything that goes towards it is just going to go to improving things. They're very adamant about the same thing that I am, that if there is any money to be made, it's going to be made to further the project, further what we're doing. It's not like we're going to take it and go run off and have like big fancy dinners because we got an extra $60 a month or whatever the case may be. Instead, what it's going to do is directly fund art and maybe some software to improve things and get maybe some better stuff to put in there for you. I don't even know what we can use it for because we haven't really thought that much other than art, because art is really the driving point. I think for all of us, we're very inspired by the things that are around us. We're media saturation type people. I know that when I will run a game, what I usually do is like sequester myself for a day and just watch a bunch of media, listen to music, and consume things around me to get inspired. And I feel like this is the kind of team that I'm in. We're just sitting around absorbing things, becoming sponges, and taking that content and turning it into something worth playing. And the reason that makes me think that is if you follow that link and you go to the main website, you'll see that it says create, share, and inspire. And that's what lives at the core of a point of inspiration. We are attempting to design things that not only are good for you to use as written, but may in turn inspire you to do something extraordinary with them. We're just giving you tools. What you do with it is what really counts. And I think that's what really drew me to say yes to this endeavor. Now, the thing I did want to let you guys know about is the next book, Tooth and Claw, that they're going to put out. It looks phenomenal. I have to still go through it because they invited me in when they were like halfway done with the project, so I'm going to kind of jump in, do what I can to get this thing rolling and kind of get some work on it, but it's going to be great. I can promise you guys that, because if you get a chance to go there, there's Grim Dark, which has already been out, the Angel Compendium. Check out both books. My personal favorite right now is, without including Tooth and Claw, of course, is Grim Dark, just because it's dark fairy tales and D&D in a way that really makes sense, and provides you great story hooks. And that's kind of the way they write, is like, here's some stuff, but here's how you can make it into a story. And definitely check it out, and check out their channels. I'll include links for everybody inside the video here, the website, the Facebook, all of that stuff. Make sure you do contribute as well, because that's a huge part of who I am. I not only absorb media, I look at my comment sections. Those of you that have commented to me, you know that I respond almost immediately if I can. If not, it's less than 24 hours since you comment, that I will give you at least an acknowledgement or thumbs up or like or something like that, because I'm huge about getting input from other people, and I would love to see that carry over to a point of inspiration. This video, by the way, has not been authorized by my fellow coworkers. I'm going completely rogue here. Maybe in the future we'll have some point of inspiration videos where I'll be on their YouTube channel, which will also be linked in here, and which is cool because I love doing videos and just talking to people. So hopefully that comes up, and maybe I can just be the splurge guy on Tooth and Claw or whatever the books are, and I can just get people pumped. So if you are excited to see some more content, make sure you check out all these links, absorb what you can for media on your own, and just like we're doing, make sure that you create, share, and inspire.